Hello, this is the Crazy Canes fan, and today we're going to be talking about the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Buffalo Sabres. This was the 23rd game of the season, and yesterday was the 4th of December, 2021. I was at the game live, so this is a little bit delayed, but the Canes end up winning 6-2 over Buffalo, improving their record to 16-6-1. So I make summaries after every Canes game. So please like and subscribe if you like this video, and then leave any comments below. And that can just be what you agree with, what you disagree with, anything I've missed, or just general stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the game periods, the stats, and then the overall thoughts. So the game highlights. So obviously the first period, Turbo strikes first, and it felt so good to actually be up in a game. And then we get some help from the refs, uncharacteristically, as Buffalo tries to play some soccer, and of course then followed up by a very nice play by Nietzsche going around the goal. Buffalo does score at the end, but we're up 2-1 at the end of the period. Super helpful. And the second period, Ian Cole, in a if you blink, you're going to miss it. He scores right off of getting the face-off, followed up 24 seconds later by a great defense play by Nino, who really caused the turnover. Trocheck easily scores. And then Nino, of course, also decides to get on the board, and I think he really deserved it tonight. He played like a really tough game, and I was like, he is looking for a goal. Unfortunately, that was followed up by a 5-minute major and game misconduct by Trocheck, and we're going to talk about that in the overall thoughts. Buffalo scores on the first part of that power play. It's 5-2 at the end of the second. And then in the third period, pretty much we end the game with our first short-handed goal of the year. Aho with the breakaway, misses, gets his rebound, pass to Turbo, done. And at that point, you could really see that both teams just were like, at 6-2, we just don't care. Or we just don't want to get hurt. There was still some shots and some scoring opportunities, but you could tell both teams took their foot off the gas at that point. The stats, and it is so nice to have a long stat sheet. So, Turbo, 2 goals, 5th and 6th of the season. Nietzsche with the goal. Cole with the goal. His first of the season, first is Kane. Trocheck with the goal, his 5th of the season, and 2 assists. Niederreiter with a goal and 1 assist. And then Aho, the hat trick for assists. Ronta, 32 for 34. Probably could have gotten the 2 back and maybe shut it out, but you know what? We're pretty happy when we score 6. We can't really go against that. So the overall third. So, first we're going to go over the Trocheck call. So, I could see why it was a penalty for sure. Now, is it a 5-minute in a game misconduct? That is kind of where you get to the slippery slope of it. Of course, with safety in the league, anytime a headshot occurs, you're looking at a 5-minute call. Like, let's be honest, it's against the boards and it's a headshot. Trocheck, said in the post game that, he looked at it, it's definitely a penalty, but he was unsure if it was a 5-minute penalty. If this was against the Canes, I'd probably be rallying for a 5-minute penalty. So I really can't argue with it so much. So obviously it did not hurt us that much in the game. I don't think there's really going to be any post action against Trocheck. I mean, I think he gets a fine, but I don't think he's going to miss any games. So overall, it's really a non-call for it. So Martinook is out. There's no information on the time frame for return. Spetch was out with a finger injury, but it does not sound too serious. He said it will, he'll probably be back next game. Anderson was out. He said he didn't feel well, which is why he didn't start. And I didn't see him at the end of the game either. So, obviously, if he's not feeling well, you're not going to have him out on the bench. I don't know if I even saw him out on the bench for any of it, in all honesty. So, there might be a little quarantine going on, especially with, Bear being sick and then Pesci and D'Angelo being sick. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, it could be serious going to a 5-game road trip, but, obviously we don't want him to be stranded in Winnipeg or somewhere, Vancouver or somewhere else like that. So, overall, though, this was a good game. Like, we pressured Buffalo the entire time. We got great chances. We made our own chances. Nino was fired up. He definitely wanted a goal or two. And this is kind of how we should be playing. Like, this is how the Thursday game was. Being live, you could just see the amount of energy and just the amount of pressure. Buffalo did not have a chance. And Subban, their other goalie got hurt. This is, I think, his first game, and he just came into it, and that was, So definitely a good start to our next 5-game road trip, which we're going to do the West Coast Canada. So we did West Coast US, now we're doing West Coast Canada, and there really isn't much more I can say about this game. I couldn't nitpick a couple things that, could have been better, but I mean, we took care of business. We won 6-2, and I'm going to leave it for that today. So, yep, we will be back for the next game, but, as we always say, go Canes.